everything about you. Everything about you.
Hey everybody, and welcome to Zenfolio Live. I'm Robert with Zenfolio Customer Success, and I just want to say thanks for joining us here today. Today we're going to be talking about what is the purpose of your website. So let me say hi to some of you guys already hanging out with us in chat. We've got Jim Below and Jorgen Breer hanging out with us. Thanks for coming and jumping on here and hanging out with us, you guys. Really appreciate you guys. Make sure that if you have any questions, you get those in the chat so I can get those answered for you guys live today. But today we're going to be talking about what is the purpose of your website. So first we're going to talk about why it's important to define a purpose for your website, and then what does that purpose look like, and then we're going to talk about putting that purpose into practice. Now, in case you guys didn't know, pre-order now allows you to offer vendor-fulfilled products through pre-order. So there's a video on that below this video in the description. Make sure that you guys check out that video and learn about using vendor products through pre-order. And then we're also going to show you guys the current top 10 images in the July photo contest, as well as I'm going to be answering your questions live. And as always, I've got Richard hanging out with me in chat, hanging out with you guys, moderating, helping you guys out. So make sure you get your questions into him and show him some love. Sorry if I'm a little bit out of it, guys, today. I'm not feeling 100%. You could probably tell by my voice. I woke up yesterday not feeling the greatest, but I'm going to push through anyway. All right, let's go ahead and jump into today's topic. So first, we want to talk about really quick, why is it important to define the purpose of your website? Well, if you can think back to when you got your first car, I grew up in Oklahoma, so for me, I was 14, don't tell anybody, but when you got your first car, right, it meant a lot of things to us. It meant freedom. It meant getting to go out and, hang out with our friends. We were learning how to drive. We were out having fun. But we really didn't grasp the true purpose and the true responsibility of that first vehicle. Now, if you fast forward to our adult understanding, our vehicles have very specific purposes to us, right? Whether that's to get us to work and back or to get the kids to school. And because they have that clearly defined purpose, we treat them a lot differently. So instead of doing handbrake turns, right, we get the brakes changed. We take care of them and we treat them differently because they have a clearly defined purpose. And we want to make sure that our vehicles have what they need to get us to where we want to go. Well, that same concept applies to our website, right? Without a clearly defined purpose for our website, we kind of just drive around in circles, not really knowing what we're trying to get to, not really knowing what we're trying to achieve, and we end up getting frustrated. And that's not what I want to happen. I don't want you guys to get frustrated. So first of all, that's why it's so important to make sure that you clearly define the purpose of your website. So you have a goal, so you have a direction. Now, what is that purpose? That's a question that really you're going to have to answer. But in general, if you're a professional or aspiring professional photographer, in general, your purpose for your website should be to attract new clients first. That should be the primary goal of your website, to attract new clients first, and then to service existing clients second. So we have to understand, what does that look like? What does it look like to attract new clients? Well, first of all, we need to understand what type of clients we want to attract, right? We don't want to just attract everybody. There is a specific type of client that we want to attract. And if you don't know what the client is that you want to attract, there's a video below this. It's called How to Attract Your Ideal Client. Go watch that video if you haven't done this before. If you've never sat down and really decided who is your ideal client, you need to know what type of client that you want to attract. You want to go through an exercise and clearly identify your ideal client and make sure that you're doing what you need to do to attract them. So again, if you're a professional or aspiring professional photographer, the goal of your website should be to attract new clients first. Now, you need to do some research as well. You need to think about, your personal experience of when you've hired somebody, right? When you hired somebody, you did research. You looked at their website, maybe you looked at their Google reviews, and what was it about their website? What was it about them that led you to hire them? And that's the kind of things that you need to be thinking about. You need to be asking these questions to yourself. So you need to clearly identify the purpose of your website, which should be to attract new clients. And then you need to ask yourself, what does that look like? How am I going to do that? Who am I going to be attracting? What am I going to be using to attract them? Right? And we're going to be doing some research. You're going to be looking into what attracted me to somebody to hire them, and how can I do that same thing on my website? So thinking about all of these things. Now, in general, there's a few specific things typically that your clients need to be able to learn about you, or your potential clients need to be able to learn about you to decide if they want to hire you or not. So in general, here's some things that they need to learn about you from your website. They need to know what type of photography you do. Do you do the type of photography that they are looking for? And if you have a clearly defined purpose for your website, you can make sure that when they land on your homepage, that you're showing homepage images that let them know, this is the type of photography I do. So if you're looking for a wedding photographer, you can hire me because I'm showing wedding photography or wedding photos on my homepage, right? You want to make sure that those homepage images are the best 10 wedding images, or whatever type of photography you do. You want to make sure that those are the best 10 images for that genre that you have. And then the other thing that you can do is you can put this kind of information in your domain name, right? If you're trying to attract brides and grooms because you're a wedding photographer, you can have wedding photographer or wedding photography in your domain name. You can have it in your website title. You can blog about it. You can have it in your header. So thinking about that and making sure that you're clearly communicating in your homepage the type of photography that you do. Now, next, they're going to be looking for your style and your skill set. They're going to want to know, does your style match what they're looking for? And are your skills as a photographer up to par with what they want? And again, this is going to come down to your homepage images can help you convey that. Your homepage images, your 10 to 15 best images, make sure that it is there. It's showing your style, it's showing your skill, that you're constantly updating that and keeping those images being your 10 best images. You also want to make sure that you have an easy to navigate portfolio that shows your type of work. So if you do weddings and portraits, you want to make sure that you have your portfolio up there clearly identified so that visitors that are coming there will go and know exactly how to get to your portfolio, and then they can easily navigate between the different categories that you have. So if you have a wedding portfolio and a portrait portfolio, making sure that you have that in a drop down so it's easy for them to get to exactly what they're looking for. The other thing that you can do as well is make sure that you're not using the same images in your portfolio as you did on your homepage. Make sure that you update your portfolio regularly. Don't use last year's portfolio. Hopefully you did a lot of great work this year. Make sure that you're keeping that portfolio updated regularly and then using your blog to also show that as well. So using these different features to communicate to visitors your style and your skill. All right. And the next thing I want to know is location. Do you service their location? Are you somebody that they can hire because you work in their area? Now, at the very least, that information needs to be really plain in the about page and the contact page at the very least. But it's really nice if you can have that information somewhere on the homepage as well. So utilizing a welcome message, or if you're or if you can put your location up in your wedding, or not your wedding, I'm sorry, if you can put your location up in your homepage title, using those different places to communicate your location so your visitors can know, hey, I can hire Forte because I know she works here, or I can hire Lisa Johnson because I know that she services this area. I can hire Tristina because I know that she services Oklahoma. Making sure that that information is there and clear so that when visitors come on your site, they immediately know, yes, this is somebody I can hire, or no, they don't service my area. Next, they're going to want to know what types of services and products that you offer. Do you offer the services and products that they're going to be interested in? Using custom pages and having a site menu item linking to that custom page of, hey, these are the types of services that I offer. I offer these types of wedding packages. I do these types of portrait sessions. Or having a page where it says, these are the types of products that after I do your shoot, you can have your prints printed. I offer canvases. You don't have to list everything that you offer in your price list, but just having some general information so that your clients can understand, one, this is the type of services they provide. Two, after I have the shoot, this is what I can get. These are the types of prints. These are the types of products that I can get. And again, having that information somewhere on your site menu where it's really easy to access and it's really clearly defined. And then price range, right? I know this is kind of controversial about showing your pricing on your website or not. This really comes down to doing that exercise of knowing what type of clients you want to attract. So if you're just getting started, you might be wanting to attract whoever you can just to keep your photography business going. And that's definitely understandable. But there comes a point in time where you really need to decide, I want to attract this type of client and I want to work at this price range. And by having that information on your website, it will, first of all, kind of cut out the people who are going to try to heckle you for your prices and things like that, because they're going to see, hey, this is what they charge. I'm not going to call them and try to, lowball them or something like that. It's going to cut those people out because you have it clearly posted on your site. But two, it is also going to lift that barrier, right? As a visitor to a photographer's website where you don't find any pricing information, one of the things that you probably don't want to have to do is you probably don't want to have to call that photographer just to strictly say, hey, what is this going to cost me, right? So you kind of lift that barrier when you let clients know or visitors know right on your website what it's going to cost them. Then you lift that barrier of them contacting you because they know right out the gate, yes, this is somebody I can work with because I can afford them, or maybe this is somebody that I'm just not ready for yet. So it's something to think about there. And then your personality and your ethics, right? That's another thing they're going to want to know. Are they going to enjoy working with you? Are they going to get along with you? Are you going to have fun with them? Are you going to treat them? Are you going to treat them well? Are you going to have too many beers and hit on the bridesmaids? This is stuff that clients want to know, right? And a good way to let them know this is having a really well written about page or an about video. If you guys watch Site Review Tuesday, you guys know that I talk a lot about having videos on your about page to really let potential clients and visitors connect with you and to let your personality come across and shine to them. And so that is one thing that they're going to be looking for is, are they going to enjoy working with you? Do you have good ethics? So having a good about page with a good about video, or at least some good about text written up, is really going to let them understand that. Another good thing to do is to have your client reviews on there, right? So if you have past reviews from your clients, get them put up on a custom page or link to that page if you have it somewhere else, so that they can not only see what you're saying about yourself, but they can also see what your clients are saying about you as well. And that is so important. So guys, make sure if you're not asking clients to give you reviews, make sure that you are doing that and you're getting those reviews and you're putting them up on a custom page and you are providing that information to visitors so that they can see what kind of person you are. They can see and get an idea of what working with you is going to be like. All right. Now, once you have all of that information put together, it's time to put that into practice. And what I mean by that is that when you're building your website, if you're just starting building your website, or maybe it's time to do a website redesign, you have all of these ideas in your head from all of these things that we've kind of gone through, and you have a clear purpose for your website. You have defined that your website's purpose is to attract new clients. And so as you're setting it up, as you're adding images to the homepage, you are constantly asking yourself, are these images going to attract new clients? If I set this up this way, is this going to attract new clients, or is this going to make things a little more complicated, right? Sometimes we have the tendency to do things that are easier on ourselves, and that's not always going to be the best thing for our visitors and our clients, right? So we need to constantly think about that when we're designing our homepage, especially. This is just the homepage. It needs to be for the purpose of attracting new clients, and you constantly need to be, everything that you're doing, asking yourself, if I add this image, if I set my menu up this way, am I doing this in a way that's going to attract new clients? And as you're doing that, you also want to make sure that you're clearly defining a path that you want those visitors to your website to follow, right? You want them to follow a certain path. Most of the time it's they see your homepage images, they decide that they like what they see, they might want to see a little bit more, so they go to your portfolio. From your portfolio, they decide they really like what they see, so now they're wanting to either look at prices or your services or go directly and contact you, right? And so you want to make sure that you design that path for your visitors and you make it as easy as possible for them to achieve that path or skip steps if they want, right? So in your portfolio, maybe you have a caption up there that says, click here to contact me, completely bypassing the services section of your website. You want to make sure that you're setting this up and designing a clear path for your visitors to go from being a visitor to contacting you and becoming a client. All right. So again, everything that you're doing, you are asking yourself that question of, is this going to help me achieve the purpose that I have clearly defined for my website? All right, so making sure that you're designing it with that purpose in mind. And then you need to go and you need to make sure that you're testing this out. You need to go through your website as a visitor, open it up in an incognito window and look at it like you're a visitor. Have some friends test it out. Ask them for feedback. Ask them what they liked and they didn't like. Make sure that your website is achieving that purpose that you have clearly defined for it. All right, so that's it for today's topic. Let me go ahead and share with you guys the current top 10 images from our July photo contest. If you guys have any questions about what we just covered or any questions about anything at all, it can be off the topic entirely. Make sure to get those in the chat. I'm going to show you guys the current top 10 images in our July photo contest. And if you haven't entered it yet, there's still plenty of time. The link is below in the description. Here are the current top 10 photos, and I'm going to come back and start answering questions. All right, man, there are some absolutely gorgeous photos. If you guys haven't checked it out yet, even if you don't plan on entering the photo contest, definitely click that link. Richard just threw it out in the chat. You can click on that link, and at the top you'll see a little thing that says enter or vote. If you click vote, you can just go through and look at the submissions and all the different photos that have been submitted to the July photo contest. And if you're not sure how that photo contest works, the way it works is that you submit a photo and then you ask your friends, followers on social media. You'll get a link to share it out on social media. You ask people to vote for your photo. The 10 photos with the most votes at the end of the month go before our judge, and our judge is going to pick the winner. And the winner of that gets a free year of the Zenfolio Pro plan. So definitely, guys, it doesn't cost anything to enter. If you haven't entered it yet, you still have plenty of time. Make sure that you go and submit a photo, and then you get that share link and you share it out, because it's not just enough to enter. You need to make sure that you're sharing that out on social media and asking people to vote for you to get you into that top 10 at the end of the month. All right, let's see. Forte said, will there be a PDF of the points made today? It would be great to have something to mark things off as the site is being built. Well, I hadn't planned on it, Forte, but I'll tell you what I'll do. If you guys are interested in having a PDF, make sure that you come back and check this video out after the recording publishes, and I will put a link to a PDF in the description below the recorded version of this. So you have to make sure that you come back. I don't have it right now, but I will put a PDF in the link below this video when the recording publishes, and you guys can go and download that PDF there. Great question though, Forte. I'll definitely do that. All right, let's see. Gonna grab a couple of email questions really quick. If you're watching the recorded version of this, I would love to have you come hang out with us on a live stream, but I know not everybody can stop what they're doing on a Thursday and jump on YouTube, which is why I really appreciate those of you guys that hang out with me week after week. Craigslist, Forte, let's see, who else we got here? We've got Jorgen. All of you guys who come here week after week and hang out with me, I appreciate it. Lisa Johnson, appreciate you coming and hanging out with us. But for those of you guys who watch the recorded version, if you have questions that you'd like for me to answer the following week, there's a link in the video, or the description below the video, that says questions for next week. Make sure that you put your questions there so I can answer them the following week, which I'm going to grab some email questions right now. And those of you guys watching live, if you have questions, make sure that you get those answered in the chat. We've got about 39 minutes left, so don't wait around. Make sure you get your questions in the chat. All right, first question says, I currently self-fulfill everything, but I was considering using Zenfolio's digital products to sell my downloads. Is there a benefit to doing that over self-fulfilling the digital downloads? Absolutely. So if you use Zenfolio's digital products feature to fulfill your digital downloads, for one thing, Zenfolio is going to handle the processing and delivery of that digital image for you. So if you're self-fulfilling digital downloads, chances are that you are probably getting that order and then either emailing the clients that file, so you have to take the time to actually go find that file, pull it up, get it emailed to the client and all of that, right? Whereas if you use Zenfolio's digital downloads, whenever your client buys the image, Zenfolio actually is going to email them a link to where they can download their photo. So you don't have to go find the photo. You don't have to get the client's email it to them. Zenfolio is actually going to do that for you. And you can actually have the digital downloads set up to be in a couple of different configurations. So whether you want to have it be a full resolution download, or whether you want it to be like a low resolution social media download. Zenfolio Digital Products is a really powerful feature, and it lets you have a lot of different setups. So it can accommodate a lot of different things. If you've never checked it out before, you should definitely go check it out. You just need to go to selling and then go to here to digital products. And then I've got a bunch in here created. The nice thing about this is you can sell full gallery downloads, right? You can sell multiple image downloads, and we handle all the fulfillment. So the benefit is that we're taking care of all that stuff for you on the back end. You're not having to find these photos and emailing them to the clients. I'm not going to go through the whole setup process. There is a great video tutorial. There's actually a couple. If you go to our YouTube channel, it's called How to Sell Digital Downloads. I actually did a live stream on it not too long ago. If Richard can find that link and throw it in the chat, that would be awesome. But definitely, if you've never checked out our digital products features, go check it out. And again, there is a huge benefit to using this over self-fulfilling, because if somebody just orders the digital downloads, You don't have to go find it and email it to your clients. We're going to take care of that process for you, saving you a lot of time. And time is money, right? So saving you a lot of time and money. Great question, though. All right, let's see. Let me go and grab another question really quick. I have an advanced account and I want to connect Miller's Lab, but I can't find where to do that. Can you show me? So guys, if you didn't know, if you have an advanced account with Zenfolio, you can actually connect Miller's Lab and offer products to your clients from Miller's Lab. Now, you can't do that yourself in the account. You're going to have to reach out to us, right? So first of all, if you want to do this, you need to make sure that you have an advanced account. If you're not sure what account level you have, hover over your name, go to account right here. And then what you're going to do is just go to account information, and right here it will say Zenfolio plan, and it will let you know what you have. You need to have either a premium business or an advanced plan, right? And if you don't have either one of those, you'll need to upgrade in order to connect to Miller's Lab. All right, so after you have the right account, then what you're going to want to do is go to millers.com, create a free Miller's account. They don't charge you anything for it, and they're going to email you a Miller's account number, right? So once you get that Miller's account number, all you need to do is jump down here to chat. So go down here to chat, or if chat's not available, you can send us an email, but you're going to just chat in and say, hey, I have an advanced account and I want to connect Miller's to my account. And then just put in your Miller's account number, send that to us, and we will connect that for you. We'll let you know when it's done. So again, you can use chat right down here. The chat team can do that for you, or you can always go to zenfolio.com/contact and shoot us an email. Just make sure that you send us your Miller's account number. And then once you do that, you'll be able to access Miller's. You just go to selling, price list, and then go to whatever price list you want to use, and you're going to click on add products, and then you'll see Miller's will be available. So I'll show you what that looks like really quick. Add products, all vendors, Miller's Wedding and Portrait, and Miller's Schools and Sports. But you have to send us that Miller's account number, and you have to have that advanced account to be able to do that. All right. Great question, though. Great question. And guys, it's definitely worth it. The Miller's account and the Miller's labs, they have some really, really phenomenal products. The base cost is really reasonable as well. So it's definitely worth it if you already have an advanced account. Or if you're thinking about upgrading to the advanced account, you get a lot of cool features that you don't get with the other plans when you upgrade to the advanced plan. Things like the Miller's option, you get Zenfolio events, you get advanced order approval options. Lots of really great things come with that advanced plan. So if you were thinking about upgrading, make sure you hit up the chat team and just say, hey, I was considering upgrading. What are my options? And they'll definitely be glad to help you guys out. All right, let's see. Did I miss a question here? So Jimbo, I'm trying to say your name right, Jim. Hopefully I'm getting it at least close. Says question above about applying fees to product orders. Let's see. Did I miss that question in chat here? I'm not sure if I missed the question, Jim. If I missed it, can you throw it back in chat for me again, and I'll try to get that answered for you here. Let's see. Next question here says, oh, by the way, guys, if you already have a Miller's account, you don't need to create a new Miller's account. Just get that Miller's account number. So if you want to integrate Miller's with your Zenfolio account, you don't have to create a new Miller's account. Just get your Miller's account number. All right, next question. How do I create sub-galleries within galleries? For instance, I want to have a sports gallery with baseball, football, and soccer as sub-galleries. That's a great question. It's something you can do with Zenfolio's group features, right? So Zenfolio has a feature in here called groups, and that is what kind of lets you create categories and subcategories. And so what I'm going to do is go right down here, and let's say that we want to have a new group, and we'll call it sports. All right, and inside of that gallery, and let me get myself out of the way so you guys can see that. Inside of that sports group right down here, maybe we want, and let me move that up so you guys can see it a little bit better. 1 second here. So I'm gonna go to all photographs. I'm just gonna grab this, slide it up to the top up here so I can see it, and you guys can see it a little bit better. All right, so here we go. So I have this sports group created, and let's say inside of there, I want to break it down into subcategories. Maybe I want to have, like you said, baseball, soccer, and football, right? So what you can do is just create new groups inside of there. Baseball, all right, is a group. And then you go back up to sports, create another new group. Soccer, create another one for football. And then inside of those groups, if you need more categorization, maybe you need like a varsity and a junior varsity, you could even create new groups inside of here. So you could do a varsity. You could do JV if you needed to have that inside of there. So this is how you create those categories inside of there. Now you can do it that way. The other thing that you can do as well is if you don't want to have to take the time to do it all manual like that, as long as you're using the Google Chrome browser, you can create that file structure on your computer in folders. Have subfolders within folders, and then you can grab your main folder and upload it into all photographs, and it will recreate that structure for you. And it's a lot faster doing it that way than going in and setting up and creating all of these here. So that's what I recommend. Use the Google Chrome browser. It lets you upload those folders, and that will recreate that structure. So if I just want to show you an example really quick, if I click on all photographs and I hit upload, I have a folder here. Let me just get to it so you guys can see it. Let's see, let me grab, which one do I want to use? This one right here. So I have this Robert's demo portfolio, and inside of that, I have a bunch of folders. Some of them have subfolders. And if I want to get all of that organization in Zenfolio really quickly, I can grab that main folder, drop it in here, and it will recreate that organization. So you can see right here, there are subfolders, subgalleries, and all of that stuff. And that will recreate it. So here is that Untitled folder, and inside of it, it has 2 more subgalleries. And that's really the quickest way to get that kind of organization, is just utilize that Google Chrome browser and drag and drop that folder in there. All right, great question though. All right, Jim, question, how do my clients apply a photo credit $100 that I collect as part of the sitting fee for their product order online? That's a great question. You're going to use coupons to do that. All right, and this is something that I use in my selling strategy. So whenever I take session fees, I always give the clients a print credit. So I might say, you know what, the setting fee or your session fee is $500. And for that $500, I'm going to give you a $100 print credit to use on my website. Now, if we've done the math correctly, if we've correctly marked up our price list, that $100 print credit should really only cost us maybe $20, $30 at the most, right? So you want to make sure that you have your price list set up correctly first. Make sure that you understand your markups and you have all of that in the correct place. And then after that, what you can do is you can create a coupon for your client. All right, so let's say that we have the Smith family. We need to get them a $100 print credit because they paid for their session. So you're going to go to selling right here. And then you're going to click on coupons and campaigns right over here. And then you're just going to say add a new coupon. You're going to go right in here. Now, if you have an advanced plan, you can do a coupon campaign, which means you can create multiple coupons with the same setting. So this is really handy if maybe you're doing events and you have a lot of coupons that you need to create. But for normal sessions where it's like 1 or 2 here and there, I usually just go the individual coupon route right here. And then what you're going to do is give this a name. So the name your clients are not going to see, Jim. This name is so that when you're looking back on your order reports, you know why they had this coupon to begin with. So maybe just Smith Family Session Credit, something like that. All right. And then what you're going to do is you're going to come down here. If you need to put more information, right? Or if you need to put more information in here, the description is a great place to do that. So if you need to put some specific information here, maybe this was a certain scenario where you did something a little bit different than you usually do, it's nice to go ahead and take that time to go ahead and put that information in the description so that at the end of the year, when you're looking through your order reports and you see that the Smith family got a $100 discount, you can look at that coupon and understand why they got that because you wrote some notes in the description. All right, the coupon code is what you're actually going to give to them to use during checkout to get that $100 print credit. So in here, we might do something like Smith Family. And whenever I do a coupon code, I always end it with a year tag. So like 2019, end it with a year tag. That way, next year, if I need to give the Smith family another coupon, I can do Smith Family 20. And it helps me keep those separated. So this is what you're going to be sending to them. So just go ahead and copy the coupon code after you create it. Then you're going to come down here and decide what currency this coupon needs to be in. That's going to be based on the currency that you're using for your price list. All right. So, excuse me one second, guys. Let me get a sip of tea. Maybe my voice will come back a little bit and I can finish this out. All right. So the next you're going to do is you're going to set up your discounts. So you're going to go discount products. And then if you're just wanting this to be a credit, you're going to leave this set to be amount and you're going to put $100 in here. But you can do a percentage discount. Like if you want to give them 20% off, you can do that. If you want to create this for maybe a family member, you can have it discount to just the base price where they basically pay your cost. But since you're talking about a credit, we're going to leave this set to amount. Now, I personally never discount shipping. The labs are the one who do the shipping. They're the ones that shipping money goes to. And so personally, I never discount shipping. I let the clients pay full price for that. So we're going to skip that. We're going to go down here. Now, if you want to restrict what they can use this coupon for, maybe you want to let them use it on prints and products, packages, but no digital downloads. You can uncheck those options that you don't want them to use that for. Maybe you just want them to be able to use it for a la carte items. You can do that. You cannot restrict the coupon to be for a specific product, but you can restrict it to a specific category here. But for this one, most of the time with my session fees, if I'm giving them a credit, I set this up to be for whatever they want to use it for. Now you can restrict the coupon to only work in a specific gallery. So let's say maybe you've done a couple of sessions with the Smith family and you really only want this credit to apply to the most recent session. You can say this coupon will only work in this gallery, and then they cannot use it outside of that gallery anywhere it won't work. Or you can just let them use it for all galleries. So again, another measure of control that you have there if you need to limit things like that. And then finally down here at the bottom, the restrictions section. Now, I saw your follow-up question and I'm going to show you that right here. So first of all, if you want this coupon to be a one-time use, you're going to need to put the number 1 in here, meaning that they can only use this coupon credit one time. After they use it, they can't use it again. All right, if you need to set a starting date to where it becomes valid, you can do that here. If you want to set an expiration date, you can do that as well here. And then if you want to set an order minimum, basically saying, hey, I'm going to give you $100 off, but you have to order at least up to $500 worth of products first. You can do that right here by setting that order minimum. And that's actually one of my favorite ways to use the coupon, is I actually use the order minimum a lot, and then I will just leave it to have no limit because I don't really care if they use this coupon over and over again, because I know that every time they use it, they're spending at least that $500 to be able to use it. And then you just save it. And then what I like to do is I like to include that coupon in my email out to my clients when I'm sending them to their gallery. So if we go to photos and we go down here to, let's say this is the, let's get in here and let's just say that, where'd it go? There it is right there, 2019. And family portraits. Let's say that this is the Smith family and we haven't sent them their gallery yet. So we're going to go up here to email gallery. I love the email gallery feature, guys, because of this option right here. It is never a convenient time whenever I upload photos after I'm doing all the editing. It's never at a convenient time for me to email my clients, meaning that usually it's really late at night and I don't want to email my clients really late at night. And so what I do is I will schedule this email to go out the next day at their lunch hour. And then you just put their email in here. So whatever their email is at email.com. And then you're just going to come down here to this, and somewhere you would put use this coupon for your $100 print credit. And then you paste in that coupon code. And this is also where if you had some restrictions, maybe you said, you know what, if your order is over $500, you can use this coupon code and get $100 off. That's where you would put that information. Okay, then you preview the email, and then you get to send that email to them or schedule it if you're scheduling it. And that way, that email goes out at that specific time. They get their coupon code, they have the instructions, and they go in there and they use that print credit. Coupon codes are one of my absolute favorite features in Zenfolio because they are so powerful. They are so useful. You can create urgency by giving people coupon codes that expire. You can really do a lot with the coupon feature. So if you haven't played around with it, make sure that you play around with it and explore it. It's a great option to use. Great question though. Let's see. Forte says she'll be back later. She's having some technical difficulties. Dang. Well, hopefully those get taken care of, Forte, and you get to come back and hang out with us some more. It's great having you back on with us. All right, guys, we've got about 20 minutes left. So if you have any more questions, make sure that you get those in the chat. Even if they're nothing that we've talked about today, if they're totally off subject, make sure that you get those in the chat and I will get those answered as best I can. Let me grab another email question really quick. All right, my next question says, is there a way to create a smart collection in Zenfolio like in Lightroom where items get added to the collection by keywords? Zenfolio doesn't really have an option like that. We do have a feature that's called collections, but they're not smart collections. And to be quite honest, I usually really discourage the use of collections because if you add images to a collection from a gallery that's password protected, that password follows that image into the collection. Collections actually don't hold the images. They're like desktop shortcuts. So if you add a bunch of images from different galleries into a collection, they are going to follow, or they are going to take with them all their individual settings. And then before you know it, you have a gallery that has images with 20 different passwords and different price lists, and it just becomes a mess really quickly. So I usually discourage the use of collections. However, if you're looking for something kind of like a smart collection, Zenfolio does have a built-in search feature, and you can link to that search page with queries already, is that the right word? With search terms already put into that. And so what I mean is, let me show you first of all where that built-in search page is. So if we go to website and we go down here to built-in pages, if you scroll down, there's a search page in here. And that search page will search the title of the image. It will search keywords. It will search a lot of different things in the account. So first of all, any photos that you don't want to show up in those search results, make sure that you have that set up correctly. So if you don't want your, maybe you don't want your client gallery showing up in your search results. If you click on that client group, you can go to access and you can go to search and you can say, do not include in any search results. Now, even though you say that, you might go to some galleries inside of here and you might change the access to say, okay, these can be searchable. So you just need to make sure that your search settings are set up correctly. Now, after you do that, you can go to that search page, and let's say that you want to have something like a smart collection to where if the image has portraits keyworded into it, it shows up in this one space. So if I go here and I search for portraits, any photo that has the word, and I guess there's nothing in there. Let's try weddings. There we go. Any photo that has the word weddings and is keyworded in it or in the title will show up in here. Now this page is completely customizable. There's a live stream that talks about customizing the appearance of the search page. It's on our YouTube channel. If you haven't checked it out, make sure that you go check it out. But what you can do is you can set up a smart collection this way. So what you can do is you can do that initial search, and then if you come up here, all that is a URL with that search term already placed in it. So if you copy that, you can now go to your website And then what you can do in your website is you can link to that specific link with that search term in there. So if I were to go over here and I were to add a new site menu item, let me get myself out of the way, and we call this weddings, and I spell it right. I can choose the option to link to an external web page. Now, I know we're linking to a Zenfolio page. The reason we're choosing that external web page is because that gives us the option to link to a specific URL. And this is where we paste in that search page with that search term already applied, and we hit update. And now we could have that in a drop down if you wanted. If you wanted to have that in a drop down, you could. I'm just going to drag it up here to my site menu, and then let's reload this. And so now if we publish this, if somebody comes along and they click on weddings, it's going to take them to that search page with weddings already being searched and all these options showing up. Now, like I said, you can customize this page. So this is probably not the presentation you want to give them. You can come in here and customize this page. You can, first of all, change what options show up. So if you go into options, you can say, you know what, don't show galleries, don't show collections, only show photos, don't show videos, and don't do the pagination. I probably said it wrong, but something like that. And then you can apply that. And so now when people hit that search query option, if we publish this, now when people hit that search option right here, now all those tabs that we were seeing, it goes away. And then all of the photos are shown in one page instead of multiple pages. So that's kind of a way, if you're looking to set up something kind of that functions kind of like a smart collection, that is kind of how you could set it up, using those links with that search term already in there and then linking to it from your site menu. Great question though, definitely a great question. All right, let me get back to the photos page here. Let's see. So Brendan says, I want to assign a subdomain to point to a subdomain of my site. When creating a CNAME, do I use www or use the subdomain title subdomain? What is the exact thing to type in as the host record? That's a great question. So when you're trying to set up a subdomain to point to your site, what you're going to want to use is, first of all, what do you want that subdomain to be? Do you want it to be www? Or do you want it to be clients? So what do you want your subdomain to be? It could be clients.brendanphotography.com. It could be www.brendanphotography.com. Whatever you want your subdomain to be, that's what you want to put in there. Now, for the host, or where it points to, that needs to point to custom.zenfolio.com, and that's what will make it redirect to your Zenfolio account. If you're not sure, you can definitely go into your account settings in here. So just go to account, scroll down, go to website, custom domain, and then there are instructions right here that will kind of tell you how to do that. There's also a really good video tutorial on our YouTube channel as well. Just look up setting up a custom domain for my website. Brendan, great question though. Hopefully that answered it and gave you a good place to start. All right, let me jump back here. All right, guys, we got about 13 minutes left. Make sure if you have any questions that you're getting those in the chat. Hey, Ian Vaughn, thanks for jumping on and hanging out with us. I'm glad to have you here. And hanging out with us and from Australia. That's awesome. Glad to have you here hanging out with us from Australia. All right, let's see. Next question here. I would like to collect payments for an upcoming session through the website. However, I don't want my package price list available to everyone. I would prefer to have a tab displaying just the types of packages offered, but not display the price. Is there any way that once a client signs a contract that I can send them just a specific link to collect payment through my Zenfolio website? So you can do that. If you want to collect payments for session fees on your site, you don't have to have that page showing on your website. And you can do this through pre-order. In fact, have done a lot of live streams all about pre-order. If you guys haven't watched them, definitely go back and check them out. But if you want to collect payment through your website, but you don't want that link showing on your site, you only want to send it to them after they've signed a contract with you or they've talked to you, you can definitely do that. You just need to go set that up first. So you just need to go to selling, go down to pre-order. Make sure that you have a pre-order set up for that. So maybe this is like weddings pre-order. So I've got this already set up here. All right, and when I create this, pre-orders don't populate to your website. You have to link to them. So all you need to do is create this, have all of your options here, and then nobody can see this until you send them the link. And that link is going to be right here. So if I copy this link, and we go to a new tab, or if I just hit preview, this is the link that you would be emailing them afterward, after they've signed a contract with you. Although, just as a word of advice, I'm not sure that as a customer, I would sign a contract before I know how much I'm going to be paying for your services. So that might be something you might want to think about first, because that could probably be a big barrier to people if you're forcing them to sign a contract before giving them any kind of idea of what they're going to be charged. Something to think about. But you can just send them this link, and here is where they could set up, and this is where they could go ahead and make their down payment or their payment for their wedding session fee, or however you want to have it set up. So great question. Pre-order is the way to go for that. You just send them the link once everything's kind of set up, and they can go in there and make the payments that way. All right, let me go back to photos. And let me see, grab another email question really quick. Let's see. Do you guys provide me with a custom URL, or do I need to buy my own, and how do I set that up? So that's a great question. I think actually Richard just threw the link out or for that video. But basically Zenfolio is not a domain registrar. We don't host domain names. So you'll need to go purchase a custom URL from somebody like GoDaddy or Network Solutions or iwantmyname.com. There's a lot of different services that you can buy custom domains through. I personally like GoDaddy, but all the other options are fine as well. I use GoDaddy, but you can go through those services, buy a custom domain name, and then what you'll need to do is you'll need to set it up to point to your Zenfolio account. So Richard just threw that link out in the chat, but if you need the instructions, again, you can go to your account right here, go down to website on the bottom left, go to custom domain, and then you can click the instructions right here and it will tell you what to do. You basically need to change two settings in your domain registrar account. You need to have a record that points to 64.62.158.18, and you need to have a CNAME that points to custom.zenfolio.com. And make sure that you set it up that way and that you avoid doing any domain masking, because domain masking can have a negative impact on your site, especially on the appearance of it on mobile devices. So make sure that you set it up following these instructions. My voice is starting to go, guys. Let me grab another sip of tea really quick. I stole my wife's coffee mug again. All right, great question. Let's see. About Time says, what is Zenfolio's commission on the pre-order money received? So it looks like Richard answered that in chat, but I'll just let you guys know Zenfolio's service fee is 9.9%, and that's across the board. That's digital products, pre-order, self-fulfilled products, vendor-fulfilled products. It's 9.9% on everything. That's how it works. So that is the service fee. But great question there, guys. All right, let me close some of these tabs really quick. You grab another email question, guys. Make sure if you have any questions, you get them in the chat. We've got about 8 minutes left. I'm gonna grab another email question really quick, and then I'll come back and check on you guys on chat. Let's see. How can I set up my clients' galleries to have a custom URL instead of the Zenfolio URL with all the numbers at the end? So that's kind of a two-part question. First of all, to have a custom URL, we kind of already talked about that. You're going to need to buy a domain name. and make sure that you have it pointing to your Zenfolio site correctly. Once you do that, that is going to get rid of the zenfolio.com in your website's domain name. Now, after you do that, then if you want to customize your client's link specifically, you need to make sure that you go in and you create a friendly URL. So let's say that we go down here to, let's just go down to clients. We'll go down to engagements, and we'll go down to John and Elizabeth. And we'll just say that this is John and Elizabeth Smith. All right, and let's say that we want to create a custom URL because we don't want their link to be Zenfolio Live Photography dot something something forward 946822711, right? So if we want to make that URL a little bit easier and make it a personalized touch, you can go to Access right here. And then what you're going to do is you're going to go down to sharing, and you're going to click this friendly URL toggle so that it turns green. And then whatever you put in here will change the URL. So if I turn that off, you're going to notice that that URL is Zenfolio 942 blah, 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 blah. But if I click that, whatever I put in here will become the URL. So if I put Smith, it changes the last part of that to have Smith, and then just make sure that you save that, and that will save that friendly URL so that when your clients go to the gallery, or if you're sending them the link directly, it's nice to have that personal touch where you have that instead of the number. So if we go preview this really quick, I just go up here and I preview this gallery. And actually what I'm going to do is just preview this in an incognito window, just so you guys can see what this looks like. So we're going to go with the incognito window, and I'm going to paste in that URL. And then if I pull this down, you guys can see right here, it shows .com/Smith. Now I have to put in the password to enter the gallery. That's because this gallery is password protected, and we're viewing it in an incognito window. So we're actually seeing it like a true client would see it. All right. And so that is how you create that customized URL. All right, let's see. D says, has your 9.9% been an increased amount? When I signed up with Zenfolio last year, I don't remember it being that high. So the service fee, I don't remember exactly when it did increase. It did increase. We sent out an email about it. I'm not sure when exactly it was. I can see if I can verify that. But you are correct. The service fee has increased since probably you signed up a few years ago. All right. Good question though. Let's see. Haley Lewis from Melbourne, Australia. Just transitioned to Zenfolio. So far, so good. Hey, Haley, thanks for jumping on here and hanging out with us. Sorry you're only catching the last 5 minutes, but you can definitely rewind. And then this video will also be published on our YouTube channel. But yeah, thanks for jumping on here and hanging out with us. Glad to hear that you are enjoying Zenfolio so far, for sure. So thanks for coming and hanging out with us. Really quick, guys, if you're not subscribed to the channel, make sure that you click the subscribe button. We do the live streams every week, and we do site reviews every Tuesday. So make sure that you click the subscribe button so that you get notified when we go live and when we do those site reviews. And also, if you guys could do me a favor that are watching this right now, if you could just give this video a thumbs up, I would really appreciate it. If you found anything that I told you today helpful, if you found value in anything today, make sure that you let us know. Give us a thumbs up on this video. I would really appreciate it. All right, guys, we got about 3 minutes left. Let me see if I can answer at least one more question, and in that 3 minutes. Let's see. Find a question I can answer. Let's see. So this one says, can you explain why these shipping prices vary? I'm using your integrated vendors. Some people pay $4.25 and other people pay $8.25. Why does the shipping prices vary, and where can I see this information? Well, if you're using our integrated vendor labs, they're going to be the ones charging your client shipping. And one thing to remember is that most of our labs offer a couple of different shipping speeds or shipping options. So they might offer a standard shipping, which might be $4.25. They might offer a rush shipping, which might be a little bit more expensive. The other thing that you need to remember as well is that depending on what your clients purchased, different products ship differently. Now you can find all of this information in your account. If you go to selling and you go to, just click right on the word selling, and you go to products from integrated vendors, you can look at the different shipping options from our different vendors. And so if I go to MPix, we just click right on MPix, and then we're going to scroll down. There'll be a shipping section. So if I scroll down, there's a shipping section right here. If you expand that, it's going to explain how shipping is charged. So the $4.25 is for orders of 50 prints or less that are in the following print sizes. So it could be that somebody is ordering a print size that is not in that size and is larger, and they're going up to that priority shipping cost. So all of this information is here in your account. If you ever want to know what your clients are going to be paying for shipping, you can definitely go in here, check it out, and see what the shipping charges would be. Now, one thing to keep in mind, guys, is that MPix does offer free shipping to your clients as long as the client's order is over a lab cost of $35 or more. So make sure that you understand it's a lab cost and not what you're charging. It has to be a product cost. But if your client's order is over $35 in a lab cost, your clients will get free shipping. So definitely something to think about when you're going through and setting up your price list and organizing your packages is, can you make it easier to help your clients get free shipping by maybe setting up a package that reaches that $35 lab cost? Great question, though. All right, guys, we've only got about 58 seconds left. So let me say thanks to all of you guys who hung out with me today live. Forte, Jimbo, Ian, Haley, About Time, Jorgen. Did I say it right? Jorgen or Jordan? I have to go find it. Dee Dee, Lisa, Tristina, and anybody else that I missed. Craigslist. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with us today on the live stream. Make sure that this week you guys go do something positive for somebody. Go encourage somebody, help somebody out. Make sure that we all work together to make the world a better place, and that we keep positive vibes and positive influence coming, because the world can be such a negative place sometimes. And so it's up to us to work together and try to make it a better place. So go encourage somebody. Have a wonderful weekend, a safe weekend, and then I'll see you guys next week. Don't forget, Site Review Tuesday, every Tuesday, 2 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Pacific. And then I'll see you guys again on Zenfolio Live. Hey, thank you guys so much for hanging out with me today. If you're not subscribed to the channel, make sure that you click that subscribe button. And if you're watching the recorded version of this and you'd like to learn more about Zenfolio, I recommend watching some of the videos that you should see popping up on your screen.